Prime Minister, Minister, my Australian colleague John Feeks, members of the Australia and New Zealand medical assistance teams, colleagues from the public sector and members of the media. Tēnā koutou katoa, ni sampula vanaka, namaste, and good morning to you all. I'm very pleased to join the Prime Minister and my Australian colleague John Feeks here today to mark the arrival of the Bravo ANZMAT team and to farewell the Alpha team that arrived last month. At this very challenging time, the MAT teams symbolise the strength of the relationships between Fiji, New Zealand and Australia, symbolise the effectiveness of the trilateral partnership that we three have, and they symbolise our commitment to work together to combat the current COVID-19 outbreak, and it symbolises the hope and the confidence we have that together we will beat this. These sentiments were also expressed by Prime Minister Ardern at her post-cabinet press conference on Monday, where she said Fiji is our neighbour, our friend, and our offer of support is live and ongoing. The deployment of 2 medical assistance teams is a tangible example that our work to fight this COVID-19 outbreak together is simply what friends and family do. And we're very pleased to have such skilled New Zealand and Australian medical professionals here working alongside the Fijian Ministry of Health and Medical Services. And I'd like to thank the Alpha team for their huge contribution and the tremendous amount of work that they have put in over the last 3 weeks. I know only a little of the hard work that they have done because I see them, I would talk to them on Zoom every day, including in the weekends, and their work seldom ends when that call logs off late in the evening. And it's been great to see 2 New Zealand medical professionals working alongside their Fijian and Australian counterparts. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Wayne Morris, a New Zealand MAT accredited anaesthetist who also deployed to Fiji in similar circumstances after Tropical Cyclone Winston in 2016 and who has taught at the FNU Medical School as well, and Major Naomi Goff, who's just coming round to the front, a public health physician with the New Zealand Defence Force who has also worked with the New Zealand Ministry of Health on our own COVID response at home. We farewell Dr. Wayne this weekend, but Dr. Naomi will remain in Suva until the end of July to continue to provide public health advice, working alongside the IMT and the team at the Ministry of Health and Medical Services. I would also like to thank John and his colleagues at the Australian High Commission for their stewardship of the MAT deployment and the support that they have all provided to the New Zealand team. And I would like to acknowledge and to commend Dr. Brian Spain for his exemplary leadership of the team. Thank you very much, Dr. Spain. It's been a privilege to see you in action as well. And I'd like to recognise the work of Dr. James Fong and the Ministry of Health and Medical Services team and all parties involved in facilitating the MAT team here in Fiji. Vinaka Vakalevu. I'm acutely aware that MAT teams might come and go, but Dr. Fong and his colleagues will be staying to continue that fight, which won't end for them until the job is done. We look forward to continuing this excellent collaboration with our Australian and Fijian whānau, or Vavale, over the coming months. It was a privilege to join John and Health Minister Dr. Wanganeen-Betty and Nandi yesterday to welcome the second Bravo team. Bravo team includes 14 medical personnel from Australia and New Zealand and 3 liaison officers, and amongst the Kiwis involved is a New Zealand anaesthetist, a registered nurse, a logistician and a liaison officer, and I was pleased to see another Kiwi arrive with the Australian support team as well. Just another example of the close way in which both countries work together. MAT is a very important part of New Zealand's wider package of support for the COVID-19 response in Fiji. We've been working alongside the Fijian government and our partners on the ground since the beginning. We've responded with PPE, with testing equipment and other equipment to help hospitals manage and treat COVID-19 positive patients. Fiji's doing an excellent job with its vaccine rollout, and we're proud to support the work providing access to safe and effective vaccines to protect communities. I've had my first jab, and I can't wait to get my second jab tomorrow so that I can be fully vaccinated here with the AstraZeneca vaccine too. New Zealand's committed to providing sufficient doses of AstraZeneca to vaccinate 250,000 Fijians, alongside $2 million New Zealand dollars worth of support for the vaccine rollout and for preparedness. Alongside the vaccines provided by Australia, this will ensure that every eligible Fijian can be vaccinated. We've also provided financial support to assist the governments and Fijians during this outbreak. In June, we announced a $10 million package, and that was building on $40 million of budget support that was announced in May as part of the New Zealand government's wider COVID-19 economic assistance to the Pacific. In remarks made to the press yesterday, Prime Minister Ardern directed Foreign Ministry officials, including me, to engage with Fiji on additional equipment needs, and that work has already begun. To conclude, I'd like to say something very briefly about relationships. New Zealand's assistance to Fiji is not simply about the amount of money that we spend or how many ambulances roll off ships and planes. It's about support to real people with real problems, life-threatening problems, and doing so in real time. It's providing support to members of the government, to colleagues in the public service, and people working among communities. It's a daily lived reality for our MAT teams, both the Alpha team and the Bravo team that's coming in, and it's also a lived reality for John, and myself, and our teams and our respective High Commissions. Vivali is not just thoughts and prayers, press statements and tweets, it's action every day to take the challenge that COVID-19 poses to Fiji and our region and to take that on together. Ngā ka whakaleko.